Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for coming to today's graduation ceremony for Saigon South International School. As you enter, choose your seating and please move to the center of the row to allow others access to the seating. We expect a large turnout today, so be mindful of others by taking up only the number of seats that you have reserved. We kindly ask that you remove any personal belongings such as flowers or purses from the seats so that other guests can find a place to enjoy the ceremony. Should you have any questions or need assistance, our student ushers are here to support you. Please show respect for our graduates and their families by silencing your mobile phones at this time. Rest assured that a professional photographer
Does you have to pick up? I'll pick up.
Until the end. Until the end.
What?
Until the end. Until the end.
No, just the full section. Hi, Mr. Ida, how are you?
How are you?
All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Good enough? We'll do a couple. Just got a little corral to do. Okay. Just 65.
65. 65.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you for coming to today's graduation ceremony for Saigon South International School. As you enter, choose your seating and please move to the center of the row to allow others access to the seating. We expect a large turnout today, so be mindful of others by taking up only the number of seats that you have reserved. We kindly ask that you remove any personal belongings such as flowers or purses from the seats so that other guests can find a place to enjoy the ceremony. Should you have any questions or need assistance, our student ushers are here to support you. Please show respect for our graduates and their families by silencing your mobile phones at this time. Rest assured that a professional photographer will be thoroughly documenting this occasion. The collection of photographs will be made available to graduates and family members after the ceremony. Additionally, we are streaming the event live via Facebook and YouTube. Later, an edited version of the ceremony will be available on YouTube. You are welcome to take video and pictures while seated. Please do so without obstructing the view of others, and be sure not to stand in the aisleways during the ceremony. We will begin the ceremony shortly.
Xin hân hoan chào đón và cảm ơn quý phụ huynh đã đến tham dự buổi lễ tốt nghiệp của trường quốc tế Nam Sài Gòn ngày hôm nay. Nhà trường rất mong đợi sự tham gia đông đủ của quý phụ huynh trong buổi lễ này. Quý vị vui lòng chọn những ghế ngồi ở giữa hàng để người đến sau có thể dễ dàng vào được chỗ ngồi. Quý phụ huynh vui lòng ngồi đúng số lượng ghế đã đăng ký và không để đồ dùng cá nhân như hoa hoặc túi xách lên ghế ngồi bên cạnh để có thêm chỗ trống cho những vị khách khác đến tham dự lễ. Nếu quý vị có bất kỳ yêu cầu gì, đội học sinh tình nguyện sẽ sẵn sàng hỗ trợ trong suốt thời gian này. Vui lòng chuyển điện thoại của quý vị sang chế độ im lặng để thể hiện sự tôn trọng đối với các học sinh và gia đình khác trong suốt sự kiện. Nhà trường đã bố trí một nhiếp ảnh gia chuyên nghiệp để lưu giữ những khoảnh khắc của buổi lễ. Tất cả những hình ảnh này sẽ được chia sẻ đến học sinh và gia đình sau khi lễ kết thúc. Bên cạnh đó, toàn cảnh sự kiện sẽ được ghi hình trực tiếp trên kênh Facebook và YouTube của trường. Sau đó phiên bản chỉnh sửa cũng sẽ được cập nhật trên kênh YouTube. Quý phụ huynh có thể quay phim và chụp ảnh trong khi ngồi tham dự lễ. Vui lòng chú ý không gây cản trở tầm nhìn của những người khác và không được đứng ở lối đi trong suốt thời gian diễn ra sự kiện. Buổi lễ tốt nghiệp sẽ bắt đầu trong ít phút. Xin cảm ơn.
Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Chad McGartland, and I'm the high school associate principal. It gives me great pleasure to begin the graduation ceremony. Welcome in our SSIS senior leadership team, high school faculty members, and members of the middle and elementary school faculty. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the entrance of the class of 2025.
Ladies and gentlemen, and class of 2025, please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. Let's pause together to truly absorb the significance of this milestone moment. Graduates, turn your gaze to the faces beaming with pride before you, your families and friends, and see the joy radiating from your dedicated teachers. They're all waving at you. And now, let us all behold the remarkable young adults seated before us. What a truly special day as we gather together to celebrate the incredible class of 2025, Saigon South International School's 22nd graduating class. I am Jennifer Mendez, your high school principal, and it is my distinct honor to serve as your Master of Ceremony today. A graduation ceremony would not be complete without music to enhance the celebratory atmosphere. Thank you to our high school band students and their teacher, Mr. Leif Larson, for providing the music for today's celebration. Now, this day and our celebration would not be possible without the care and support of our outstanding high school faculty and staff. Please join me in thanking them for their hard work and dedication in support of the class of 2025. Saigon South International School is a comprehensive school. We offer educational programming from early childhood through to high school. In recognition of our students' longevity in the school, I invite all members of the class of 2025 to stand. This year's graduating class is made up of 106 students. Students, for those of you who have been at SSIS for all 4 years of high school or longer, please remain standing. Students, please continue to stand if you have spent all 4 years of high school and all 3 years of middle school or longer at SSIS. And now, those graduates who have been at SSIS since grade 3 or longer, please remain standing. It gets better. All those graduates who have been at SSIS since kindergarten or longer, please remain standing. Yeah. Yes, this is amazing. And thank you for this, students. You may be seated. We extend a heartfelt congratulations to each member of this year's graduating class. No matter how long you have been at SSIS, you have grown and thrived in your own way, while also leaving a unique mark on our school community. Our school is truly one school. We all contribute to the individual success of each student. As we just witnessed for many of our graduates, this day is the culminating event in a long educational history at SSIS. They have attended middle school and even elementary school for some. In recognition of this, please join me in thanking our middle and elementary school teachers for their support of the class of 2025. This is an amazing event, and it has only come about because of the work of quite a few people. So at this time, I would like to take a moment to say a very special thank you to our head of school, Dr. Moran, our events coordinator, Mr. Nguyen Dao, our high school counselors, Mr. Petralia, Ms. Finlay, Ms. Pathak, and Ms. Freeman. Our IT team, Mr. Tan Duan and Mr. Tan Tran. Our marketing and communications team, Ms. Olander, Mr. Zim, Mr. Thung, Ms. Mo Paul, and Ms. Nya. Our bus coordinator, Ms. V. Tran. Our National Honor Society faculty advisor, Mr. Jeff Robideau, and student members. And of course, the entire high school faculty, teaching assistants, and support staff. In one way or another, each of these people have supported our graduates in their educational journey at SSIS. And together they have contributed countless hours to make today an outstanding celebration for this year's graduating class. Please join me again in giving a very special thanks to all of the wonderful and supportive members of the SSIS community. So I stand here before you today as the high school principal, and it is a very special honor to be able to provide this message to the class of 2025. Esteemed faculty, proud parents, cherished families, and most importantly, the remarkable and deeply connected class of 2025. It has been my distinct privilege to witness your entire high school journey, from our initial virtual connection during your grade 8 step-up day to the vibrant community you embody today. As I reflect on the many conversations we've shared, especially during our recent senior reflection lunches, certain moments and themes resonate deeply, illuminating your unique spirit as a class. In recalling my own time as a teenager, I remember how taken I was with that iconic movie and coming-of-age story, The Breakfast Club. I must have watched it at least 100 times. And even while the film is now a bit outdated, having been released in, brace yourselves, 1984, the powerful and affirming message that resonated deeply with me then still holds true today and is one that I see present in your class. It is the powerful idea that while it's easy to define ourselves and others with simple labels, these convenient terms rarely capture the truly unique and special essence of each individual. At first glance, your class can quickly be described as one composed of remarkable IB diploma and AP students, athletes, artists, scientists, musicians, and future leaders. But this description, while true, doesn't capture the most remarkable quality of your class. This is your individuality and the deep sense of self you've cultivated during your time and across the many different experiences you've shared as students at SSIS. Over the course of time here, we've seen athletes discover their strength and leadership, Artists find their voice and connect through creativity, and scholars grow through intellectual challenges. While that is remarkable, even more extraordinary is how you have transcended your differences and united through your respect and admiration for one another. You've all endured challenges, and together you have united and risen to overcome them. Just as the characters in The Breakfast Club discovered common ground despite their seemingly disparate backgrounds, you too have transcended labels. You've learned, supported, and forged bonds that extend far beyond the classroom. Your shared triumphs and challenges have revealed the power of unity. We've witnessed this power in countless ways. Consider Meaty Beats at the Battle of the Bands. Individually, their talent was evident, but it was their deep trust in one another that forged their collective confidence, allowing them to deliver a stellar and absolutely unforgettable performance. This performance soared beyond what any single member could have achieved individually. Or maybe let's recall the infectious energy of Seussical the Musical. Even with a cast spanning the high school, our seniors truly shined. They beamed with pride as they recounted the daring greeting line where they, in character, welcomed students and parents to campus. Their confidence to put themselves out there in such a unique way, and the courage they drew from the trust in fellow cast members was truly remarkable. And then there's the unforgettable grade 11 Week Without Walls trip in Ho-Tram. Faced with extreme heat and unbearable tents, the girls, yes, the girls of the class of 2025, they united. They advocated for themselves and successfully navigated a very challenging situation. What's truly at the heart of these successes and your profound sense of belonging is the dedication of your SSIS teachers. Let's take AP Language and Composition, for example, and to begin. Students found a class that was not just educational, but genuinely fun. They couldn't quite pinpoint how they learned so much, attributing it to the teacher's magical ways. But the magic was in how profoundly that teacher truly knew them, connecting authentically with their lives outside of school, their friends, and even their interests. The students truly felt seen and heard, and in that space, they blossomed. Similarly, on our sports teams, coaches didn't just instruct them, they actually believed in them. They saw your potential, they pushed you to be better, and in that belief, you gained confidence that then impacted not only your performance on the court or field, but bled into every other area of your lives. And in concert band, students spoke of the sheer power of being surrounded by such talented musicians, how it propelled them to new heights in their own musical journey. Performing in front of an audience gave them an immense feeling of pride and joy that they will never forget. These experiences, both large and small, demonstrate how SSIS has been a place where you've discovered joy in unexpected connections, built strength through shared passions, and united to overcome. Graduates of the class of 2025, as you stand on the precipice of new adventures, my advice to you is twofold. Remain confident in the incredible individuals you've become, individuals who have already demonstrated a strong sense of self and now look to embark upon your next adventure. Yes, we know you are very excited about heading off to university. But in the days before you and after the celebration today, each of you will begin to pack your bags and spend final moments with friends and loved ones. You may not have the immediate comfort and ease that you've already established as part of your SSIS community, but let me tell you this. You possess the strength and ability to forge new connections and build new communities. Now, as you prepare to forge these new communities, I want to share a profound insight that deeply resonated with me at a recent educators conference. The keynote was delivered by Charles Vogel. He is the author of international bestseller, The Art of Community. Vogel, who has consulted with giants like Amazon and Google, shared a message vital for our time. Essentially, it is this. We are living in a lonely era, and we need our people to navigate the challenges of life. His advice is incredibly simple, yet profoundly powerful. It is to be the person who extends the invitation. You already know how to do this. I've heard stories from our senior reflection lunches of how you've simply spotted a new student eating lunch alone. You've walked over and genuinely asked, "You want to join us?" That simple yet incredibly powerful act of extending an invitation in a moment of vulnerability is precisely what Vogel is talking about. An invitation isn't just a request to spend time. It's a message that someone cares if you show up. It communicates that you are valued and that you belong. As Vogel explains, the specific activity, whether it's walking to class together, sharing a coffee at a local cafe, or maybe even just studying at the same table together, it matters far less than the intentional offer to do it together. The true power lies in the desire for human connection. Community is built one invitation at a time and through relationships of mutual concern. And here's a truly remarkable part of Vogel's message. You gain reward even when an invitation is not accepted. The person who extends the invitation will forever be remembered as the one who reached out, the one who offered connection. In a world that can sometimes feel isolating, Class of 2025, be the bridge. Again, you have the power to bring people together. As you navigate the new environments of university, many around you will be in a very similar position, seeking their own community and trying to find their own people, much like you did over your years at SSIS. Your confidence, built upon the foundation of connections you've already forged, will empower you to reach out, extend that invitation, to connect over shared interests, to collaborate on projects, to simply offer a friendly gesture. You might be surprised by the deep and meaningful connections that can blossom from this very simple act. Class of 2025, your journey, like that of the Breakfast Club, demonstrates that beneath the surface, we're all seeking connection. Go forth with confidence and be the extender of invitations and build new communities that will support and enrich your lives just as you've enriched ours. The world awaits your confident and connected contributions. Congratulations, Class of 2025. It gives me great honor and privilege to invite our next speaker, who is our head of school, Dr. Katrina Moran, to present her remarks for the class of 2025.
Xin chào quý phụ huynh, giáo viên và các em học sinh. Rất vui được gặp mọi người ở đây. Xin chúc mừng các em học sinh tốt nghiệp hôm nay. Good afternoon, proud parents, dedicated teachers, and above all, the extraordinary graduating class of 2025. It is a true honor to celebrate this milestone with you today. You have grown through challenges and you have celebrated triumphs, and now you stand at the edge of everything that comes next. So before we go on any further, I'd like to invite you again to look up, to look around, look at the people who love you, the teachers who have walked beside you, the friends who have laughed with you and maybe struggled with you. This is your moment. See it, feel it, and be in it. Henry David Thoreau said, "You must live in the present. Launch yourself on every wave and find your eternity in every moment." And in this fast-moving, digitally saturated world, it's easy to miss what matters. A conversation, a sunset, the pride in a parent's eyes. Too often, our heads are down, eyes fixed on a screen while life is happening all around us. So today, I hope that you can commit to launching yourselves on every wave, to find eternity in every moment, and to look up every chance that you get. So during the last holiday, my husband and I, Mr. Moran, were walking along a quiet stretch of beach. Just the two of us walking barefoot, the waves gently crashing nearby. You can imagine the scene. And suddenly, feeling inspired by a podcast I'd heard earlier in the day about showing up fully in life, about choosing momentum over hesitation, I lifted my head and fixed my eyes on a distant point down the shoreline, and without even thinking about it, I started to run. I'm not a runner. That is not something I do. But there I was, running. And my body moved as if it already understood what my heart had just remembered, that when you lift your head, when you choose to look ahead with purpose, you unlock something. You move differently, freer, faster, stronger. So when my husband caught up with me, he looked at me surprised, and he said, what just happened? You don't run. And I said, I know. I couldn't help it. I was overcome with joy and optimism and a sudden burst of energy, as if life itself was moving me forward. And that's what looking up can do. It aligns your body, your mind, and your spirit. It shifts you from stillness to motion, from doubt to momentum, and it invites you to move differently, to live differently. But looking up is far more powerful than just finding direction. When your head is up, you don't just move forward, you make yourself visible. And when you're visible, you become a point of reference for others. Sometimes without even realizing it, you become someone else's example, someone else's inspiration. And that's exactly what has been happening with you all year, seniors. Whether you knew it or not, people have been watching you, looking up to you, learning from you, like our second graders. They have looked up to you all year, literally and figuratively, in the hallways, in the library, at assemblies. They say, oh, there's my buddy. To them, you have been more than seniors. You have been their heroes, their role models, the ones they want to be someday. And now, as you prepare to go off into your next chapter, I hope you ask yourselves, who do I want to be for others to look up to? Because someone will. Whether it's a younger sibling or a roommate or a classmate or a future colleague, someone will look up to you. And hold your head high and be the kind of person worth looking up to. Looking up also means being brave enough to rise, to step into the unknown. It's easy to keep your head down and to stay in your comfort zone, to avoid asking the hard questions and to wait for things to get easier, but that's not how we grow. So when you look up, you take risks, you try new things, you take the lead on a project, even if you're nervous. You stand up for what's right. You choose the more difficult path, not because it's easy, but because it matters. And I've seen you do that. In classrooms, on the stage, in service projects, you didn't settle. You showed up and leaned in. I saw it when you mentored younger students, when you co-designed buildings with architects, and when you stood, sometimes shaking, with a microphone in front of the school. You showed courage. So Walt Whitman reminds us, keep your face always towards the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. But what happens when there are shadows? When life doesn't go as planned, when you're tired, discouraged, uncertain, when things don't go the way you'd hoped, when keeping your head up feels almost impossible. That's exactly when courage matters the most. And I like to remember that we are gathered here today thanks to the lofty dreams and aspirations of two men in particular, our founders, Lawrence Ting and Ferdinand Tsien. Over 30 years ago, Mr. Ting and Mr. Tsien stood on what was then only marshland, mud, mosquitoes, and nothing more. Where others saw impossibility, they saw potential. They looked up, and they envisioned Fumihang, and within it, our school. They weren't developers or engineers, but they had vision, courage, and the determination to serve a community that didn't yet exist. And because they did, we are here today surrounded by everything they once imagined. So seniors, you now stand at the edge of your own territory, and like our founders, you may not have all the answers. You may not have the experience or the map, but you do have a choice. To lift your head up, to look beyond the obstacles, and to move forward with belief in what's possible. Because the world you're stepping into needs more than knowledge or skills. It needs visionaries, people who can look up and see what others don't. People who imagine more just societies, more thriving communities, and sustainable futures. You are those people. So I didn't plan to run that day on the beach, but something inspired me and ignited in me. And when you are fully present, the world has a way of showing you the next step. So class of 2025, as you walk across this stage today, and into whatever comes next, I hope you look up. See the people around you. Feel the beauty of the moment. Straighten your shoulders, smile. Remember the second graders who look up to you and think about who you look up to. Look up because the future needs you. It needs your courage, it needs your presence, it needs your light. We say in Vietnam, Ngang Gao Dao Ma Bu Tip. Hold your head high and keep moving forward. Or we say in Ireland, my home country, Tog the Count Sus agus Shula Raig. Lift your head up and walk on. Two cultures, two languages, one timeless message. Class of 2025, wherever you go, may you keep looking up and walk forward with your head held high, guided by purpose, courage, and hope. Congratulations, class of 2025. We are so very proud of you. And congratulations, parents of the class of 2025. We are very proud of you and very proud that you have entrusted your children into our hands to take care of them until this momentous occasion in their lives. Thank you, parents, SSIS parents. Now, it is my great honor to introduce this year's senior student graduation speaker, Luke Tran. For those of you who had the pleasure to get to know Luke, and many of you do, you know that he is a dynamic, thoughtful, and truly inspiring member of the class of 2025. Over his 8 years at SSIS, Luke has not only stood out as a dedicated scholar and leader, but as someone who brings heart and purpose to everything he does. So whether he's guiding others as the president of Model United Nations, or mentoring as a varsity debate coach, or stepping up through community service with Nourish Vietnam, Luke has turned challenges into opportunities, helping others to find their voice while strengthening his. His passion for philosophy, politics, and economics reveals a deep curiosity about the world, and his energy on the volleyball court is only matched by his compassion of it. So Luke, you embody the very best of what it means to be an SSIS graduate and to lead with empathy, integrity, and purpose. Please welcome our student speaker, Luke Tran.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Moran. Good afternoon, parents, SSIS faculty and admin, and my fellow graduates. My name is Luke Tran, and I'm honored to be speaking to you today on behalf of the SSIS class of 2025. A month ago, I was tasked to come up with a senior story for the yearbook. When I asked Mr. Larson, hi Mr. Larson, what he wanted me to write about, he asked me, what does being a member of the class of 25 mean to you? Now, I will admit that I ended up writing a string of cliches. This question started a process of reflection. What was our identity? Let me take you back to my first day of school. When I walked through the turnstiles at SSIS for the first time 8 years ago, I felt a mix of fear and anxiety. At every other first day, every other first encounter with kids my age, I had been made fun of. See, my nickname at home was Sao, meaning squirrel in Vietnamese. Through the lens of a non-native speaker, though, I was labeled as a dirty sock, a stinky sock, literally pick any adjective and it's been used. Since I submitted a preferred name late, I was probably going to be sock for a couple of days. However, as I sat on the class carpet, being introduced to my classmates, I was greeted by a 10-year-old Davy. Long flowing hair and a beaming smile, asking what my hobbies were. By the morning break, I was already making new friends, left and right. The funny thing about this is that Davey probably doesn't even remember this interaction. But it is in moments like this where I found what it means to be part of this class. I saw it on our Wheeler Walls trip last year to Ho Tram, whereas everyone had a kid on their shoulders playing on the playground that we had built. Sue, Alexandra, and Dan made sure that an amputee girl had just as much fun. I saw it during our Nourish Vietnam soup kitchen visits, where Ian ran down the restaurant carrying rice refills with more speed than I ever saw him with on the volleyball court. I saw it every single morning, running up the stairs at 7:59, sharing a smile with yet another tardy senior, fully knowing that we were going to be late, regardless of how many times we've run that route. And I saw it this last week when I walked the streets of District 1 with classmates that I've never seen outside of school, yet ended up laughing the most that I've ever laughed. This is what it means to be a class of 25 senior. It is an unconscious kindness that exists in between moments, even when no one notices. While we do act out from time to time, and I can see my teachers and my parents looking at me, we are a class that continues to connect and care. Not for validation or for recognition, because that is who we are. But building this identity was not a solo journey. Along the way, we've had so many others that have shaped who we are today. So first, our teachers. You guys make learning a journey. I will never forget how Mr. Redford constantly asked us cryptic questions about every single belief we held, or how Mr. Rebecca connects everything from meaning of aura colors to personal anecdotes into learning Spanish. Teachers, you have ignited a curiosity that will remain with us for the rest of our lives. But beyond that, teachers at SSIS create a sense of belonging. Spontaneous talks with Ms. Cover have given me the courage to solve the most vexing social predicaments. Prom dates, heartbreak, you name it. Meanwhile, competitive New York Times word games with Miss C in the library always take my mind off of stressful tasks, whether it's an impending test or a request for a meeting in the high school office. SSIS is first and foremost a community, and the pillars that support this community are our teachers. So thank you, teachers, for letting us discover and grow, both as learners, but also as people. Next are our parents. My mom always reminds me that no matter what I do, phải làm cho tới, put nothing less than 100% of my full effort. While this was a line that was mostly used to scold me for putting off chores, it represents the impact of our parents in our lives. Mom and Dad, thank you for always pushing me to be the best version of myself, letting me fail to learn, but also giving me the push I need to go further than I am comfortable. Now, before I say this next part, I'd like to ask the seniors on the stage to find your parents in the crowd. You guys got it? All right. Most importantly, thank you, Batman. For the last 18 years, you've given me your 100% every single day. Thank you for giving me the love and care on the days when I feel like I'm at 50% or even at 30%. The mornings when waking up feels like the hardest thing possible, and after those impossible tests, where all I want to do is curl up into a ball. Now, as I leave you for the first time, the people that I have called home all my life, it is your unconditional love that I will carry with me every single day so that I know that even if I fall and even if I fail, you'll always be there. So thank you for everything, parents. We love you guys so, so much. Lastly, to my classmates. I knew from the first day of high school that I wanted to be our class speaker. Yet, I only started and finished the speech the day of auditions. Yes, I know, that's classic senior behavior. However, this wasn't your usual case of senioritis-induced procrastination. To me, writing this speech was an acceptance of the end of the last 4 years that we have spent together. If there's anything I've learned these last 4 years, it is that the class of 2025 is a collective filled with resilience and drive. And so I have no doubt that as you all step out of this room today, you will take on the world with ambition, regardless of what path you choose to take. So instead of wishing you good luck or hoping for your success, my message to you all is this. As you take on the world of tomorrow, remember the identity that we have built in these hallways and classrooms. As you implement policies, treat your patients, write new laws, and build your companies, remember to imbue every action with that genuine sense of kindness and empathy. Make sure that every impact you have considers others, just as we have done these past 4 years. Seniors, let's take a moment, let's take it all in. We're graduating! As we reflect on the memories and experiences that we've shared, it's fitting to embrace the beauty of life and the world around us. The song, What a Wonderful World, was originally performed by Louis Armstrong and captures this sentiment perfectly. Its heartfelt lyrics remind us to appreciate the simple joys, the vibrant colors of nature, the warmth of human connection, and the hope that lies ahead. As you listen, take a moment to cherish the past and look forward to the bright futures that await every one of us. Please enjoy this timeless song performed by the high school band.
Thank you, Mr. Leif Larson and the high school band. What a wonderful world indeed. Let's give him another word, a hand of applause. Esteemed teachers, proud parents, distinguished guests, my name is Charles Gousaert, and I'm honored to be here today to represent the class of 2025. Class of 2025, 12, 13, 14 years ago, you sat on the classroom floor for the very first time, next to your new friends, and in front of you, a lovely teacher. You listened to your first story. Today, at the end of your school journey, I want you to sit back, to relax. Close your eyes if you want to, and listen. I want to tell you one more story. I present to you Harry Potter and the hallmarks of a dragon. I'll pretend to read. Once upon a time, in a land where it was always warm, there was a boy called Harry. No, not that Harry. This Harry did not live under a staircase. He lived in Fumihang. His university acceptance letter did not arrive by owl. He received an email. And his Hogwarts was a shiny place called Saigon South International School, with a brand new STEAM center. Yes, this Harry was one of you. Harry started his journey nervously, wearing his SSIS uniform 2 sizes too big, his hair uncombed, and thinking aloud, is it Naga, Shenlong, or is it Wyvern? Which is the better house? Don't be ridiculous, Hermione interrupted. We know it's Shenlong. The truth, of course, it's Wyvern. We won't go there. From the beginning, they were not just learning spells and potions. They were becoming more. Harry realized that gaining house points required teamwork. Collaboration meant passing the quaffle in a game of Quidditch. So as they were strategizing with friends, they heard Miss Cover's voice. Don't do anything I would not do. Hermione, on the other hand, she excelled at creativity, whether in the art room or planning her speech for MUN. She remembered what Miss Salvati told her. No puedes memorizar el marxismo para la vida. Hay que vivirla. You have to, cannot memorize the mark scheme of life. You have to live it. And they remembered what Mr. Les told them. Our life's mission is to heal this world, not to destroy it or to cause any harm. Hermione led study groups. She always had color-coded notes. She had an extra pen, pencil, ruler, and a calculator that worked for those Ministry of Magic classes. Never be the background music, said Mr. Redfern. Be the lead singer in your own life song. So she stepped forward, her voice shaking sometimes, but always clear and loud. Harry, he didn't always have the answers, but he had courage. And he took the words of Miss Malley to heart. Be real about what you can and cannot do. And take ownership of your expectations. As they struggled with their assignment for care of magical creatures, Ron turned to Harry and said, "It's true what Dr. A always says. Natural selection." Yeah, survival of the fittest in biology and in magic, Harry added. Then, when COVID came and sent classrooms spiraling, it was Hermione that embraced the chaos with all kinds of charts and checklists and every Zoom spell possible. Harry, he took out his wand and chanted Mr. Galvez's words, "Keep calm and restart your computer." While they faced challenges differently, they learned from what Mr. Salvati told them. It's important to recognize the scale at which we operate. Some challenges are global, some are personal, but in all challenges, we have the opportunity to make a difference. Harry winged it more often than he should have, especially in languages. Climbing the stairs to the 4th floor, they heard Miss Law's encouragement. "Ni jintian hao ma, jayo." Are you okay today? Keep going. Harry demonstrated critical thinking in the most unusual places, such as navigating his way through the rainforest of Malaysia in a CSAC race. That's when he thought of Mr. Petralia, the mantra being easy breezy lemon squeezy. And he also thought of Mr. Merlin's wisdom when faced with life's crossroads. Be a Nora, don't be a Helmner. Slam that door. Hermione sometimes struggled under pressure, but she remembered what Mr. Bucklow told her. Failure is part of learning. They both learned that being ethical meant doing the right thing, even when temptation called. That was a temptation, I suppose. When the stress of university applications became too much, they heard Miss Pathak saying, "Trust the process." And when Harry, under the cloak of invisibility, considered sneaking peek at Ron's exam paper, he heard Miss Rafai saying, "Make good choices." As they became more knowledgeable, Hermione dove deep into climate science, and she was inspired by Dr. Katz's call for action. You will not only inherit a changing climate, you will also innovate and create. Let your ideas and your voices be heard. In the final days before graduation, they sat on the STC terraces. The cold air, almost magical. Was it a spell or was it Muggle-tech? Harry stared up at the storm clouds through the skylight and he said, "What now?" That's when Miss Lozano popped in and gave them this advice. "Si dudes sigue tu corazón, como con ser y estar." Whenever in doubt, follow your heart. Hermione thought of what Miss Solvejcik told her. Sharing your light does not take away from it, but it just makes the world a brighter place. And so they got up, and they thought of what Miss Me told them. 千里之行，始于足下. Journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. And so they started walking. They looked ahead at the world beyond SSIS, an uncertain world, a complex world, a world in need of change. But they remembered what Mr. McRobert told them. Try to enjoy life the next couple of years as much as you can. You might not have a better chance. As they strolled one more time through the plaza, they paused. The world outside waited. They thought of the words of Desmond Tutu. Our destiny must be as guardians of the earth, not users and abusers of the only home we know. So, class of 2025, be bold, be brilliant, be loyal, be fearless, be brave, be ambitious, but never at the cost of others. Respect differences. Save this world. Heal the earth. Take that first step. Slam the door that needs slamming. And yes, enjoy life. And now, may the dragon in you soar ahead with wisdom and courage and a sassy blast of fire. And may you enjoy the magic of life. Congratulations, class of 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to introduce our next speaker, Sue Trong. Sue has been with SSIS since grade 1, and in the 12 years at SSIS, she fostered a deep sense of belonging and community. Her involvement in activities such as student-led newspaper and badminton is evident of her commitment and her collaboration. However, it is her kindness and her cheerful approach to life that is what truly defines Sue. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Goussard, and surprise, Mom and Dad, who I've been keeping this secret from since April. Esteemed school administrators, our beloved teachers, family members, and most importantly, my fellow classmates. My name is Sue Trung, and it's an honor to be here representing and celebrating the class of 2025. To be honest, it's truly surreal to be standing before you all today. The last time we had graduated, we were sitting in front of a screen watching our 8th grade graduation pixelate into virtual applause in the midst of a pandemic. And despite that, we all still made it. And we didn't just survive high school, we remixed it. If I were to describe the class of 2025, I'd say we were a mosaic, each piece unique, a little jagged in places, shaped by personal trials and collective moments. But together, we formed something meaningful, something special. We became the class that brought back the most athletic awards in a single year, the first to fully cultivate our passions in the new STEM Design Center, and we became, dare I say, one of the most musically passionate classes SSIS has ever seen. Mr. Nomer can back me up on that. Let's look back at the early pieces of our mosaic. It's surreal to think that my story at SSIS started here 13 years ago, running about the hallways of the elementary school. There we were, sweaty and sunburnt, braving the Vietnam sun on the soccer fields until our shoes were caked in soil. Back when recess meant racing to the big top, spinning ourselves dizzy until gravity felt like a myth. We survived the slime era and fidget spinner craze, and toted water around Fumi Hung in our long walk to water unit on our hottest afternoons imaginable. Each memory is a shard of color in our early mosaic. Then came middle school, the socially catastrophic era on our digital footprints. We experimented, somewhat disastrously, with the Visco girl aesthetic, a time where Google Hangouts pinged nonstop, a time where we found unexpected joy during Mr. Priel's pre-PE YAP sessions, to visiting Pluto in Mr. Butts' room during break, and Miss Wei's infamous 学猫叫 singing project, all while the annual MS dances had us trading awkward handshakes for our first slow dances. We look back now and wince, but also smile, because only we who lived it truly understood how embarrassing it was. And then, the unpredictable chapter of high school hit. We came of age during a time when the world hit pause. Club meetings became breakout rooms, the usual lunch table chatter was split by plastic barriers, and most of us skipped virtual push-ups in PE. Sorry, Miss Sleethwood. And yet, we found ways to turn even Zoom fatigue into joy. Online fashion shows, shared playlists, cooking calls, those weren't just distractions, they were acts of resilience, of keeping the mosaic going. We crammed for AP exams at Navito and Booktree, survived IA deadlines that seemed endless, and turned stress into a collective sport. Through every hard class, club meeting, rehearsal, and match, we learned that our greatest strength lies not in a single achievement, but in our unity and perseverance. For instance, throwing the gratification of being called a genius by Mr. Nguyen, or being served a sinusoidal squid during the candlelit dinner thrown by the math department, or stressing over asses and bases with Mr. Hamus. To the red library couch, seniors have turned into our very own ecosystem, where the sound of gossip accompanies us scrambling to make the last block deadlines. But if anyone asks what experience defined our time here, it's Week Without Walls. We paddleboarded through a typhoon in Ninh Binh, braved the sun to build a playground in Ho Tram, then spent the afternoon inventing games for kids at a local school with no props, just pure imagination. I saw Nam being blindfolded, chasing kids. Noe and Annie were giving piggyback rides to a giggling first grader. And remember the musical talent I talked about? That night, Dr. Moran surprised us by breaking into song with the rest of our advisors, including a formerly very quiet Mr. McRobert during the talent show. And yes, that double-decker sightseeing bus rolled its way through District 2 with Mr. Nomer's speaker blasting Night Changes and us belting every word. And I would argue that these moments are what makes us as a class special. It's not what we went through, it's how we came through it, with humor and laughter, with heart and kindness to each and every individual, with each other. So to all our teachers, counselors, and administrators, thank you for being our mentors and unwavering supporters. You challenged us to think deeper, work harder, and believed in ourselves even when we struggled. Dr. A has helped answer my questions at the most unconventional times. I've sat many hours on Ms. Cover's therapy couch and complained about IB life to Ms. Rafai and Ms. Me. And even then, you guys still found ways to encourage us with a smile, even when we sometimes showed up to class half asleep. A special thank you to Mr. Roby, who helped me refine this speech to what it is today. You witnessed my first ever speech I gave in Ms. Bosco's class during high school, and now for my last. Counselors, you guided us through tough rejections, big decisions, and moments of doubt with patience, encouragement, and care. And to Dr. Moran, Ms. Mendez, Mr. McGartlin, Dr. Long, and all of the office staff, thank you for creating the environment where we could learn, grow, and become the people we are today. And to our all beloved parents, our Bome, women the Fumu, Uri Oma, Appa, thank you. Thank you for being our first teachers, our loudest cheerleaders, and our strongest safety nets. Your quiet sacrifices and unconditional love have provided us with these opportunities and shaped who we are. You celebrated our wins and believed in us, even when we didn't believe in ourselves. You pushed us you reminded to rest when we pushed too hard, and pushed us when we were too afraid to try. Every achievement we celebrate today belongs to you just as much as it belongs to us. From the bottom of our hearts, we love you very, very much. And to my classmates, thank you for letting me be a part of this amazing chapter of your lives. Everything you guys are doing is truly admirable and amazing. So as we scatter towards your new beginnings, just know, we will always share this chapter in time. The adrenaline of racing the clock to get to class before the bell, the rush of excitement during those house league events, especially the balloon stomping game, and the sugary taste of melty popsicles signifying that our years of school have ended. And as we move on to become the future lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs, physiotherapists, psychologists, or NBA wags of tomorrow, let's not forget that every one of us carries a piece of this mosaic with us and how beautiful it can be when we come together. So as we fill our yearbooks at SSIS for the last time, maybe not with hags, but with good luck and congratulations, we know that what we built here isn't fading. It'll always be a part of us. Congratulations, graduates. We did it! Now I invite Ms. Mendez back to the stage to proceed us with the ceremony.
Thank you so much, Sue. That was a beautiful message. The inspiring messages we've heard today have affirmed what we already know. The class of 2025 is absolutely destined for great things. Let us now turn our attention to celebrating these incredible individuals with the presentation of diplomas. We will introduce our graduating students by house, guided by their counselor. Please join me in welcoming to the stage for this very special part of our ceremony, our head of school, Dr. Moran, and our director of high school counseling, Mr. Steve Petralia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let's kick off conferring the diplomas by recognizing the students of Wyvern House. Wyvern House, please rise. Emmett Goldstein. Tom Oscar Wynn. Andrew Gunhee In. Doyen Kim. Bao An Annie Wynn. Bat Luke Tran. Phi Nan Olivia Tai. Quay Nala Win. Naomi Tai Lee. Fung Rosie Nguyen. Jennifer Chan. William Wynn. Knock Olivia Wynn. Minchan Leo Kim. Tan Yan Benjamin Bui. Carolyn Caden Hannah. Kiet Tom Win. Nyat An Simba Nguyen. Shri Juter. Adam Walton. Patricia Scaroni. Allison Tran. Shin Dun Fong Miso. Quincy Win. Ni Tina Win. Minan Bui.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ms. Devyani Pathak, and we will now begin with the recognition of students belonging to Hydra House. Hydra House, please rise. Lam Win. Brian Dang. Long Tim Tran. Duk Dan Can. Duk An Brian Win. Vincent Neven. Mikael Aiden Torres. Hyunsung Lee. Lin Tran. Nolani Noi Do. Khan Tesla Win. Suri Kao. Yusong Han. Kwe Su Chung. Skylar Chu. Donje Lee. Akash Kumar Le. Jihun Kim. Fu Lam. Manu Purdue. Yeomin Jang. Hai An Dao. Sa Han Marcy Lay. Ivana Mikaya Kartagi Manavan.
To our graduating students and their families, congratulations. My name is Christy Finley, and it has been a privilege and such a pleasure to see the incredible growth of the students in the House of Shenlong. Shenlong, please rise. Koi Pham. Kwanmo Kim. Min Huang Tran. Nam Lei. Min Kai Pham. Jiwon Yoon. Misha Patra. Tan Tam Nguyen. Danby Kim. Nui Nguyen. Chow Victoria Tran. Tao Lin Nguyen. Jocelyn Luong. Kiet Tom Trung. Kiem Ian No. Ryan Atkinson Taylor. Hyunsung Jessica Ryu. Amber Hamilton. Songyi Chen. Chukkai Chan. Sibylla Vu Han. Quinn Yu Jessica Lam. Alexandra Tarasenko. Min An Tran. An Khoi Lily Fan. Anne Pham.
Good afternoon. My name is Katie Freeman, and I'm deeply grateful to have served as the counselor for the wonderful students of Naga House. Naga House, please rise. Davidson Ada. Junheng Lee. Quan Alvin Vo. Hong Yu Chen. Ben Doe. Chengmin Charles Huang. Tien Kuala Bao. Lin Vu. Huang Nguyen. Maho Kitazawa. Shannon Nguyen. Van Vu. Za Nguyen Amy Pham. Sony Heng. Long Andrew Fu. Triet Zach New. Wisuk Andy Chang. Hien Bo Tran. Steve Ong. Ian Cheng. Tyon Hugo Do. Mimi Zhang Vami. Tram Nguyen. Mai Lam. Trang Dang. Naga House, please be seated.
Students of the class of 2025, please rise. The turning of the tassel is a simple yet momentous act, representing that each of you has successfully completed all graduation requirements established by Saigon South International School. As a sign of your passage from student to graduate, please take and move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. Members of the SSIS community, head of school, Dr. Katrina Moran, alumni, faculty, honored guests, and our cherished families and friends. It is with great pleasure that I present to you the Saigon South International School graduating class of 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, we conclude this evening's ceremony with our graduates' celebratory cap toss. Are you ready, graduates? So here we go. Mo, Hai, Ba,